Hey, howdy, hey, what is going on, you guys? It is your boy Pirate here with, once again, another video. Man, do I repeat that intro quite often. As a matter of fact, let me know if you guys think I should have a different intro style to my videos, because I know almost every one of my videos starts with me saying, hey, howdy, hey, or what's going on, guys? Let me know if there's a way I should change my intro. But anyway, let's move on to the topic of today's video, our Amazon Milky Frogs. Our Amazon Milky Frogs are no longer in this enclosure. They're actually in a different enclosure. Now we're going to get to that over the course of today's video. And of course, as you guys know, I try to do every setup in the reptile room bioactive, or at least partially bioactive, and we are getting to that point. Basically, all these cages here are bioactive. Some of the only enclosures that aren't completely bioactive would be that ball python enclosure up there, some of our toad tubs down there, and up there as well. And of course, down below, once again, with these bioactive setups, we got Houdini coming out and exploring in his 40-gallon bioactive enclosure. Look at that, y'all. It is so cool. You don't really get this sort of behavior out of just regular boring setups or out of racks or tubs. You only get this sort of behavior when they're in these naturalistic type setups. You can really see him exploring, moving around, and seeing what all is going on. And then looking over here, my boy Fuego is like tripping out right now. He's coming out over here and he's stretched out all across his enclosure. Look at that. It looks like he's loving his setup. Of course, this is Fuego, our corn snake, in his bioactive 40-gallon enclosure. And boy, does that thing look nice. And boy, does Fuego look nice in his enclosure. It looks so naturalistic, so realistic. It's so cool to see that, see him acting out his natural behaviors. But most of these cages are bioactive. Whilst they may not be as pretty as this dart frog enclosure here, they are beautiful bioactive setups. And we're going to get on to talking about another bioactive setup, the bioactive setup that our Amazon Milky Frogs are now in. So without further ado, y'all, let's roll the footage and see how we introduce these guys into their home. So if you guys remember, we actually moved all of our Dendrobates auratus dart frogs into our beautiful round enclosure here in the center of the reptile room. So now this enclosure is empty. All it has left is some live plants and tons of isopods and springtails. And little millipedes. Like, this enclosure is thriving with all sorts of microfauna. As you can see, there's a zebra isopod right there. And there's a bunch of other isopods throughout the substrate. But in this giant reptile room, I actually have some Amazon Milky Frogs that are literally just blocked. You can't view them very well. You can't see their true beauty because when you step over here, you've got my stack of gecko tubs in the way. So this cage is kind of just in its own corner by itself, not really being viewed to its full potential. So instead, we're going to move the two male Milky Frogs that are in this enclosure into here, give them a huge setup, and eventually we're going to get them some females to breed. But for now, we're going to catch our adorable little Milky Frogs. We're going to transfer them into this enclosure here and introduce them to their new home. We've also got to add a large water bowl into the bottom of the enclosure for the Milky Frogs and a couple of other things. So for example, the next thing we're going to actually do is move this UVB dome with their UVB bulbs from here to over here on one of these sides. I'm not sure which side I'm going to put it on yet, but I am going to move the UVB dome on top of here, being that of course Milky Frogs have to have UVB. So after we move the dome, then I think we are going to go ahead and add some Milky Frogs to their new home. Okay, so what I decided to do is take off the hood that was on Blue, the iguana's light, and instead we're going to switch the LED with the one that was originally on that enclosure. The hood that the Milky Frogs originally had, I'm going to do something else with. I'm not too sure yet. But this one here, the reason why I wanted to use it is because not only does it have the LEDs that will be great for growing out live plants, but it also has a UVB strip that is going to be perfect for the Amazon Milky Frogs. It is a 22-inch T5 5.0 UVB strip, so it'll be perfect, and I mean perfect, for these Milky Frogs. Once they go into the set, it'll be mwah, just fabulous. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I already have an extra UVB strip outside that I'll be using for Blue. So Blue will still get his UVB, there's no big deal there. But instead, I'm just switching out the fixtures for my benefit and for the benefit of, well, all the animals. So we're going to go ahead and get this beast of a light right on top of the enclosure there and see how it looks. Our strip is on. The UVB bulb is pointing through the screen. Without further ado, let's turn this light on and see how it looks. Boom and boom. And would you look at that? Look at how insane this enclosure looks. It is very well lit now. We've got so much lighting on this enclosure. It'll be absolutely perfect to display these beautiful milky frogs. But wow, I mean, that thing looks fantastic. If we go here, we open up this beautiful enclosure, take a step in to the rainforest. We look up top and look, you can see our UVB strip is shining right through the screen. So anytime the milky frogs come up on these plants, or say here or here to kind of sit out and enjoy their day, they're going to be able to absorb plenty of UVB. And for those of you wondering, what the heck does UVB even do? Well, UVB is basically essential and very, very, very important for a small reptile or other animal's bone and shell development. In the case of turtles and tortoises, it would be shell development primarily. In the case of frogs and toads and snakes and lizards, it's going to be bone development. Now, not all animals need UVB. It strictly depends on the species. But in this case scenario, Amazon milky frogs do require UVB as one of their primary care sources. So that we have done. We've got UVB on the enclosure. The next thing we're going to do is add a large water bowl in this whole section here, maybe a couple other branches and things like that, and then spray the enclosure down. Once we've done that, it'll be good to go. We're also going to add this Pangea reptile vine here. It's pretty dope looking, to be honest. It's very natural looking, so we're going to add it and basically just string it across the enclosure for extra perches and climbing opportunities. Alrighty y'all, so now we've got our vine in the enclosure along with their water bowl down here. So now the enclosure is just about ready for Amazon milk frogs. Alright, Jonathan has wet his hands, so he's gonna go ahead and scoop up the first milky frog to put him in his new setup. So this guy looks like that is Mr. Chip. So I plan on having 4 and naming them all mint chocolate chip cookie. So we've got Chip here. So let's go ahead, introduce him to his setup. Go ahead, go ahead. He is so adorable. Let us take a look at him real quick before you put him up. So there is Chip, our beautiful, adorable Amazon milky frog. I love these guys so much, and these are truly some of my favorite pet frogs. So Jonah, go ahead and put him right here on the vine. Okay, buddy. Right on the vine. Let's introduce him.
Chippy.
There goes Chip. Gently. There he goes. Okay, so Chip is on his setup.
Goodbye, chocolate
look
Chip.
at him, and look at how beautiful that frog is. Okay, but we've got another cage open, so go. Alright, so we're just going to kind of shut these doors a little bit so he can't go anywhere. Let's grab the next frog. Let's see, where is Mr. Mint? So we're looking for Mint and Chip. Let's see. Okay, Mint is back here. There he is. He's right there. Go grab him. Gently scoop him up. Go ahead, grab him. Gently scoop him up. Very gently. Careful with them.
He has a big eye.
Alright, so we got Mr. Mint here. Let's bring him over here. Let's bring Mint. We got Mint. Alright, so Jonah's got Mr. Mint. Let me see it. I'll go ahead and put Mr. Mint up. Open the door, Jonah.
Okay.
Alright, so we got Mr. Mint and Mr. Chip here. We're going to go ahead and put Mint right on the vine with his buddy there. So these are both my adult male milky frogs. Absolutely beautiful, adorable, gorgeous milky frogs. They have some crazy cool patternings on their backs. Normally milky frogs will have just stripes, like these dark stripes going all the way down, but instead they've got these like round blotches, and that's why I picked them out. That's why I had to buy them, because they are so awesome. Such adorable and beautiful little frogs. And look at that. Look at their new home, y'all. They have severely upgraded quite a bit. I can't even fit their new setup in the frame. That's how much space they have. So there goes one. He just dropped straight into the plants. There they go. And then there goes the other guy. He's chilling. And look at that, y'all. Look at that. Go ahead and stand next to that cage, Jonah. Look at how big that cage is to my little brother. I mean, that thing is almost as big as him. So that is super awesome. I'm glad we've upgraded our milky frogs into their new home. Make sure to let us know down in the comments, do you have anything you disagree or agree with me putting these milky frogs in this setup? Obviously, we've had a couple of issues with the setup in the past if you watch my other videos. But I want you guys, yes you guys, to let me know down in the comments, was this a good idea? Was this a smart idea, moving these adorable, beautiful frogs into this enclosure? Let me know. So we've got our beautiful looking label here with our beautiful setup, with our beautiful frogs. I am so happy, and this will truly make a zoo type enclosure once I get the other frogs. Keep in mind there's only 2 frogs here. I plan on getting at least 2 or 3 more females to have all together in this setup. So if you know anywhere that I might be able to buy 2 or 3 adult female and maybe adult male milky frogs, let me know down in the comments. Now, if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, follow my Instagram, TheRealPirateToadYT. It's always linked in the description. I've also got tons of different merch and other animals for sale, so once again, if you guys are interested in purchasing an animal from me, go to my Instagram. And without further ado, y'all, that was it for today's video. I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all, yes you, in the next one. Peace!